This week, I quit coffee. I know, it's a sin in today's day and age. If I mention it to a friend, the comments I get are, "Oh, so you're removing every joy from your life now?" Or, "What the fuck, Rob?" Or, "Dude, are you okay?" Because I've just been thrust into a blurry state of brain fog and withdrawal. My clarity and focus have been stripped away from me. So this week I figured I would talk about clarity. So many highly skilled musicians lack clarity about what they truly want. What do you want? What do you want? They haven't sat down and officialized their vision, so their talent doesn't get fully put to use because they scatter their focus across tasks that maybe don't align with their ideal future self. Is this you? There are 4 steps to achieving ultimate creative clarity. Let me explain how clarity and focus work first. Think of our life as a camera lens. The lens can zoom in and see individual details of a picture with precision and narrow focus. Our present moment, what we're working on today. And then when we zoom out, we see the bigger picture, a larger time scale, 10 years from now. When we zoom out, the details we were so focused on blend into the overall experience of the whole picture and contribute to making the bigger picture full and beautiful. But when we zoom in, there's a danger of losing sight of the bigger picture. We can waste our time on stuff that doesn't actually matter. Zoom in to today, zoom out 6 months, then zoom out 5 years. We need to work out our hierarchy of goals. That's just a fancy way of saying, what do we want in the long term, like 2 to 10 years? What short-term projects can we work on to gain the skills that contribute to this long-term vision, kind of 3 to 6 month timescale? And what can we work on today to finish that project? Let's work out our long-term goals.
With pen and paper.
I have 2 exercises to discover that. First,
Who are you right now?
we need to zoom in. What am I naturally good at? What am I fascinated about? What am I curious about? Who are my biggest inspirations or role models? How do I want people to feel when they see my work? Who would I like to collaborate with? Why do I do what I do?
What's holding me back the most? If you've answered these questions, you'll have a bit more clarity as to where you're at now, which means you'll be able to create clarity for a vision of the future.
We zoom out. 10 years in 10 minutes. Spend 10 minutes writing a story. Get creative. 10 years from now, consider your health, wealth, relationships. How do you feel? Who are you waking up next to? Where are you? Where do you live? What's on the agenda for today? What are you working on? How much money do you make? How do you make it? Imagine if everything worked out perfectly in the next decade. Write it from the first person as if you're waking up this morning 10 years from now.
To learn what you need to do creatively, you need to have a vision.
The perfect life.
What have you made? Who have you become to have that perfect life?
Creativity. What are you working on? What brings you joy?
What opportunities have you been ready for?
Dream a little bit. Be as specific as possible. What we've done is 2 parts of a 4-step process to achieve clarity. We've envisioned and externalized, which moves us through the probability scale from impossible to possible.
Then all you need to do is work back to figure out what skills you need, what packages and products you must create, and the character you need to build to get there. This will give you clues as to what projects you could commit to.
We can use medium-term projects as stepping stones to go from possible to probable.
Projects are vessels for focus because progressing through a project dictates exactly what you do day to day. The projects that we choose to commit to should align with our zoomed-in vision as well as our zoomed-out vision. A project bridges the gap between your curiosity and interests and your ideal future.
We want to pick projects that genuinely pique our curiosity. Picking projects because of a principle or requirement can be done, but then you require way more discipline because there's more resistance to actually starting the project. So if you're genuinely interested and curious in the project, you'll be able to generate inspiration much easier instead of torturing yourself through a project you don't really want to do.
Maintaining clarity consistently over time requires us to constantly refocus. And this might mean adjusting the way we create in order to align with the future vision. This maintenance of clarity allows us to go from probable to real. You might zoom out to focus on the bigger picture and realize that what you've been working on in the details doesn't actually make the bigger picture look any better. So it's time to zoom back in and refocus on the details and make what you're working on align with the bigger picture.
If you've picked a project which aligns perfectly with your vision, but you don't enjoy doing the project, that begs the question, is the vision really what you want? It's healthy to question where the origin of our desires actually comes from. Sometimes we learn that we'll be loved or accepted if we achieve a certain feat. So we unconsciously brainwash ourselves into thinking we want something.
Your future vision can be and should be consistently evolving. As you engage in action towards projects, you'll realize what you really want and what you really don't want. Envisioning your ideal life, externalizing that thought, starting and completing projects that align with that vision, then refocusing back to the bigger picture creates clarity. And that 4-step process can be repeated.
Let's zoom in. What are you doing right now? Take action, move, subscribe. Then get off YouTube, start creating, get on with your project. This has been Reframe. I'm Rob. Bye for now.